Okay, so I've just received this text here from Agma, and I thought I'd record myself translating it and maybe also doing the Ultra-French translation. I'm not sure any of this is going to end up in a video, but it's nice to have it. So what we have here is, it seems that the grammar of this language is fairly straightforward to translate. I sort of feel sorry for Schwa at this point because he'll have to deal with Ultra-French, whereas I have it easy here. So this first sentence seems to translate to something like, suddenly you, singular, experienced the vision and felt like prey. So let's take a look at this second sentence. Okay, I see with the first word we're already off to a strong start because this can mean in, at, or on, which is just marvelous. Next, this is another preposition which means from or out of. And what I'm doing here is I'm glossing this so I can translate it. Now this looks like it is a plural because I recognize this as a plural suffix, prefix, which is parent, so parent, plural, accusative. This also looks like a plural because this language pluralizes by reduplication, sort of, or rather doubling the consonant. Oh no, that is actually one word, and it's also an article and means that or the. This also looks like an inflected form, but let's see. It also is not. I'm completely wrong here. It is an adverb that means singly, one, only. Toothed or toothed. Oh god, what have you people translated? Okay, this is also a non-obvious form apparently because this also has a dictionary entry, so this apparently is river genitive. Imagine like the original text is going to be something completely normal and it's just been mangled horribly, I bet. That or maybe the original text was cursed to begin with, that would be a plot twist. So this is past but uninflected, which means that this is probably an infinitive or something? From to rip apart or tear away. The third person, it doesn't say plural or singular, so I'd have to check what it is. Third inanimate. Okay, so third what? Third plural, third singular? Does that distinction not exist? The third person inanimate is the unmarked form. This is also the form of the infinitive. Right, so this is either that or an infinitive. Considering that this is not inflected, it feels like it should be an infinitive. I am just going to assume that 1, it doesn't inflect for number, and 2, this text is already mangled to the point where that doesn't make a difference anymore. Okay, so let's see. What does this mean? Upon maybe this sight from the parents? Oh, hold on. There is a comma here, so... Or in this vision, actually, probably. In this vision. From the parents, the one, the only, to... Oh, hold on. Mu is genitive. That makes sense. So the only two river, baby. Good God. Was torn asunder. I'm going to go ahead and assume that this is what it's supposed to mean. I mean, if it's singly toothed, then it could also be one-toothed. So this is my interpretation of what this is supposed to mean. Agma said that it was already cursed when he got it, so... Okay, next one. Domal, that is an interjection. It feels like an interjection. So that should probably be yes, verily. We're going to translate it as verily. Well, we're going to gloss it as yes, but we're going to translate it as verily. The parents included being the parents. Let's do this next. You ask... Present tense, apparently, somehow, even though the rest of this is in past tense. Maybe this is them relating their dream to someone and then saying you ask. I don't know, we'll get to that. Okay, this is apparently a question. Good lord, okay. So what can you hear of the voice? How? I did it again. No, that's not voice. What is ta? River. Can you hear the voice of the river? What is this what doing in here then? How? Okay, dealer can also mean how. I think... Did he gloss that wrong? Because this is a much saner translation. I think he might have put the wrong form in the dictionary because I think this is supposed to be how. Because what makes no sense here because we have a second person. Okay, I think this is supposed to be how and it isn't actually in this dictionary here and I found that in the actual Alkan question words section in the grammar. Because this is a much saner translation than some form of what. So I'm going to assume that it means how. Next sentence. The. We know that one by now. Ugh. Oh no, what the hell? It's marked as noun here, so I'm assuming either that's a typo and it's supposed to be pronoun, or he forgot to include the meaning of the noun. With Agma, you can never be sure. How does he ever find anything in here? God. Okay, so that is right. That is supposed to say pronoun, but it says noun in here. So this is just there because grammar. I mean, what could have caused it to happen, I feel like, is a sensible thing to say. So let's leave it at that. Oh god. When can you dream of yourself? Okay, maybe it is like a dative of purpose or whatever, so for yourself. Or maybe to you when you can dream. I feel like this is a funnier translation, so for the meme I'll pick that. Like, this feels like there's several. Maybe a tentative gloss would be like this. Ah, adjective. It means true. This just means true. This entire abomination just means true. Must what the river heard be true? What the river hears, though. What kind of question is that? Okay, fine. Next one. And this is to be again, but this is a fake to be. We already know that because this is a perfective construction. And actually, now that we know that, let's re-examine this. I don't think it's being. I think it is just included. Appears to have included the parents. Appear to have, yeah, your dream appears to have included the parents, I think is what this means. For which person? I mean, does this appear to be intended is a mouthful. I'm gonna translate this as for whom is this intended. I mean, I'm trying to make sense of this, but I don't think there is any making sense of this. And at the moment, I think this is an absolute construction. Oh, and we should keep in mind that uninflected means accusative. So, in order to hear the river again, maybe it's tear away the hand. Oh, this is second accusative. I'm gonna say they, because the parents are tearing apart the baby, so... This is very, very gruesome. No god. Druid. They have druids. Okay, fine. God. Now there's a druid. Okay, sure. That druid. I hate these fucking perfective constructions. Like, would it have hurt him to explain them? I'm just gonna say that. Like, writing appears to everywhere is just dumb. I'm gonna say would have said, and that's the best you're gonna get. Oh great, we have prophecies now. So what the hell is this? The river quickly delivers its flow, I think is what this is supposed to mean. About halfway done. Fuck me. I didn't think it would take this long, okay. Again, I feel very sorry for Schwa, because he will have to translate all of this from ULTRAFRENCH, and it doesn't make sense to begin with. Flasok doesn't seem to be a word, but flaslok is. So I'm assuming that this is a typo. Oh, how it's a question. How did that druid hear that you have learned? Torture. And you can tell it's the same form as this abomination. We have the usual problem that you have with genitives, where we don't know if this is an objective or subjective genitive, meaning it could be that the hands are doing the tearing apart, or that the hands are tearing apart. Which I think the hands are being torn apart, based on this. Where's the subject? What is... this third person inanimate form is driving me fucking insane. However, of course, we're getting somewhere, I think. A game with the hands being torn apart. Oh god, maybe torn out of someone's hands instead of torn the hands apart. I think that makes more sense. We may have to revisit that part. This text makes so little sense, it's amazing. It's only getting worse. We're only making it worse. We're not making it any better. Shovel? Excuse me? Oh my god. So if we combine all of that... Hello, this is Editing Eternally, and of course I just realized that in my infinite wisdom, I forgot to read out this marvelous text here, so here we go. Suddenly, you experienced a vision and felt like prey. In this vision, that one-toothed river baby was torn asunder by its parents. Verily, your dream appears to have included the parents. You ask, how can you hear the voice of the river? What could have caused this to happen? To you, when you can dream, must what the river hears be true? For whom is it intended? And in this moment, in order to hear the river again, you may rip apart the baby's hands. That druid would have said, in order to ensure their prophecies, the river quickly delivers its flow. How did that druid hear that you have learned? The druids do not want prophecies, and in order to stop the act of tearing apart the hands, I flow to torture this river. However, in order to see prophecies, druids are needed. Thus, in order to prevent the prophecies and the suffering upon the blind druid, for his prophecies to happen, you should have torn apart your hands. Hear me. You must have purified the place. Thus, you grabbed a shovel in all your hands and buried a log with much moss. Alright, with that done, it's now time to translate this horrible text into Ultra French. Of course, these days, I'm not the only one working on it. As a matter of fact, for a few weeks now, our resident Frenchman, Annwan, has been helping me coin a bunch of words for Ultra French, so much so that I've actually attributed him as a co-author on the Ultra French grammar now. So, seeing as it would have taken me 3 times as long to translate this because I had to coin about, or we had to coin about, 100 new words or so, I promptly hopped into VC, where he already was, fortunately for me, and asked him to help me with the translation. Or rather, with coining the words. I actually did all the translating myself, because that's kind of the point of this entire relay, but I did have some help coining the words, because again, that would have taken way too long if it weren't for his help, so thanks again very much to Annwan for helping me. His help has been invaluable, because as it turns out, it is much easier to translate words or to coin new words in Ultra French if you actually speak French. Now, of course, I would have very much liked to include the entire Ultra French translation in this video, but the problem is, all of the stuff you've seen so far, that's from about 2 hours. The Ultra French translation took about 8. I was in VC for a solid 10 hours that day. So instead, since this video is already far too long, I'm instead going to show you about 5 minutes worth of clips of the both of us being sorely confused at this text.
Oh wait, that's a past? Okay.
Yeah, all of a sudden, because...
Okay, but the problem is that the verb I use doesn't work in the past. That verb is not conjugated in the past tense in French. So I need to find a synonym that can be translated in the past tense.
Alright, time to open...
The sudden shift to present where it doesn't make sense.
Don't blame me for that, it's in the original text. I didn't do that. At least I think I didn't. Also, I had an idea for what to use for the word druid.
Yes, I already saw that word. I translated it naturally in French, but
yes
go
I
ahead.
have an idea. You're French, so you probably know who this is.
Oh, yes, do it. What?
What? What part are you confused about?
That sentence.
I can't help it, like, I would have, yeah, but the thing is that...
You have to admit correctly what the original text says.
Yeah, what the original text has is, the problem is, it has torture in the third person impersonal, which is also the infinitive, and then it has flow, conjugated in a form which looks like it's the first person singular, and river is in the accusative.
Yes, I heard that. I'm just like...
I don't know.
This doesn't compute.
So, let's grab the demonstrative pronoun, because I forgot what the distal one was.
The monster pronoun.
Yeah, demonstrative pronoun, yes. Cool.
I thought the monster pronoun.
Ah, yes, the monster pronoun.
Acronym of the genitive singularizing clear. What did you do for the genitive?
It's probably my way of saying I made it hot because I ran out of affixes.
You ran out of French prepositions.
Yes, I ran out of French prepositions.
Yeah, made them because you ran out of French stuff to tack on.
Yep. This is horrid. Okay, now we need to form...
It comes from the verb infliger. The future stem comes from infliger.
Oh, good point. We should add that. deliver. Oh, what is quick? We don't have quickly. Something I just realized is I don't think we have a way to form adverbs yet. Now we need to form the conditional too, which is like an entire process. So first of all, we need to take the corresponding future anterior form. And specifically, what could have caused it? That is third singular neuter. In the consonantal paradigm, because this word starts with a consonant. So that would be aura and a. And now we need the E of the stem is deleted and the level of nasalization is added. We do have a fully nasal vowel, but the quality is that of the affix. So fligeant. We might have to undo some of this because that is just the future anterior. What we now actually have to do is you have to infix sa between the stem and the suffix. Fligeant. But with that. Yes, so it's actually fairly regular, I think. Like
except for the whole suppletive root thing.
Yeah, that's not the hard part. That's the full text. God. I'll do another proofreading over it tomorrow because I think I can't see any errors now, even if I've tried to read it, then because I've been staring at ULTRAFRENCH for 10 hours. Alright, after spending the entire day just translating, I had enough that day, and I went back and took another look at it the next day and actually found a few things that I had to fix, and I even introduced a new grammatical construct, the future subjunctive of intent, to deal with some of the horrible of course constructions in the text, because I was sick of writing of course everywhere. It was absolutely horrible. After all of that was done, the only thing that was left to do was to compose a document with the text, as well as a few tips and hints for Schwa so that he could actually manage to translate it, because I don't think he'd ever really looked into ULTRAFRENCH before this, so yeah. Alright, and over here we have the document that I sent him. You can see it as the text up top, the entire thing. And it turned out brilliantly, if I say so myself. Next we have a list of sections in the grammar that you pretty much have to read in order to have even a basic understanding of the language. Most of them are comparatively short though, so it's not like I forced him to read the entire grammar or anything, I hope. Speaking of the grammar, if you're interested, here's the link. You can go check it out if you haven't already. Now, I've also included a few tips here because there are a few things that are explained in the grammar, but you have to find them first, and it's easier if I just put them here. For instance, the fact that if you have a form like this, searching either part of it won't really get you anywhere because ULTRAFRENCH has a ton of circumfixes. So this actually decomposes like that, and the verb you have to search for is here in the middle. And if you don't know about this concept, you're going to be very, very confused. Yeah, and so this is all you got from me. The rest is in the grammar, and the fact of the matter is that this text uses so many grammatical constructions that if I try to include all of them in here, I'd basically just be including the entire grammar anyway, so I figured there was no point in that. Just check the grammar. It ought to be fairly well organized, and if not, please let me know so I can fix it. Alright, that's it from me. Now, all of you, go to Schwa's channel, watch his video and watch him, I actually don't know what he included in that, watch him either suffer translating this or trying to make sense of this abomination of a text, because as I said, I'm certain I didn't translate Agma's text correctly, and translating it back from ULTRAFRENCH is probably only going to make it worse. And that's it from me, so until next time, ta-da!